get to it. I'm
Shoot,
excited.
we getting into it. What's going on, y'all? See, I gotta slow
keep
down.
that in there.
What's going on, y'all? It's Jovan Landry, the 1/3 filmmaker, 1/3 photographer, and 1/3 MC.
The multi-talented.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Oh, you got more to add?
Multi-hyphenate. You also have to add bodybuilder,
And
spiritual advisor,
Yes.
Educator, friend. She
All
does
of
it
it.
all. What can you?
Dog mom.
Dog mom. Like, you do it. You do it all.
Thank you.
Booked and busy, honey. Even on the off season.
Hello. There is no off season.
You are literally the most busiest person. For you not to be doing any shows.
That's why I don't need to do any shows.
Am I the first?
I guess you are.
I'm
Yeah. You invited yourself. You like, I need to be on this. You said, this is why we making the show. It's about being indie artists and what we have to do, the many hats that we have to wear.
You exemplify it all, though. Let me take my moment to give you your flowers, because you've been doing this for a very long time. And
well, first of all, this is Kahari Kyles.
hello, everybody.
Kahari is an artist from the west side of Chicago, an amazing friend and supporter as well.
You.
Yes. So I was trying to set it up, but you know, I'm about to.
Thank you.
But continue.
You are. I'm just saying, like, this is a legend right here. Like, you are a living legend. And the past 6 or 7 months that I've gotten to know you has been just such a moment. I really rely on our conversations for recharging myself when I'm feeling down. And we don't talk about a lot of music specifically, because I think that's important to separate an organic relationship outside of that. So often we have a lot of peers that, you know, they only banter when it's music related, but we have real life conversations, and you are wise beyond your years, and you offer such sound advice, and I'm just thankful.
Oh,
I'm thankful.
You're welcome.
And you really are talented. Like, you have a show coming up. Tell the people what we gotta
Okay.
We gotta people.
So let's hope this video comes out before the show.
Yeah.
But at the time of this recording, I have a show July 27th at the Wicker Park Fest.
Woo, woo.
This is going to be my third time performing at the Wicker Park Fest.
That's a big deal.
And my first time on the bigger stage.
Period.
Thankful to Wicker Park Fest that they're able to give us like a bigger platform, because we bring it. Like, we bring a lot of energy.
You really do pour a lot of time and attention into your craft as a lyricist. And, you know, we have a lot of rappers out here that play in it, that, you know, the mumble rap and the and they're not really doing it. They're not really pushing their pens. But to see you as a femc, you know, person really pushing your pen and really giving conscious, quality music, live instrumentation. You not rapping over no track.
Yep. All live. But back to you, because I was inspired to make this video because of you. But first, I want to just ask you a question about, you know, just who you are as an artist and what inspired you to get into music.
I've been singing effectively since I was about 3 or 4 years old, since I was able to produce sound at a young age. I grew up in a household where my mother played a lot of old school influences: Shaka Khan, Sylvester James, Stevie Wonder, Patti LaBelle and the LaBelles, you know, Gladys Knight. That Motown sound is what I grew up, but I also grew up in 1990. At the time, you know, the divas of my time, you know, as we refer to them affectionately as the Holy Trinity, Mariah, Celine, of course, Whitney Houston. But the mini trinity, you know, was Aaliyah, Brandy, Monica, you know, Mary J. Blige, Total, 702, a lot of girl groups, Destiny's Child. And as I grew up to be a little bit more conscious, a little bit more, expand my musical palette, the early 2000s definitely influenced me and left in a heavy impression. We were just gagging over Christina Aguilera a few moments ago before we got on the camera.
Yeah.
You know, Britney Spears, Vanessa Carlton. What else? Avril Lavigne.
You like Ashanti.
Ashanti. Baby. 12 years old, didn't even know what I was talking about. I grew up listening to the crux of my artistry has became, you know, R&B at the root of it, but something light and fluffy that still has that contagious, infectious kind of sound, that earworm. So I would definitely say that my influences are, you know, driving force from the 90s, early 2000s, contemporary R&B, pop kind of sound. And the covers that I've put out carefully have exemplified that type of sound.
Yeah.
So a lot of people label me as a pop artist, but you know, that's just a label. I like to say I like to say genreless, because I like to sing a little bit of country. I grew up listening to Martina McBride. A lot of people don't know that, you know. Concrete Angel was one of my it was one of my first country songs I learned. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of genreless, you also wear many hats. So,
now, because you put me, you garnered me through this process of the essentiality of how to be an independent artist and what it means to be, you know, you have to essentially be in charge of your own shit. And I'm one of those people. I don't do it all by myself. I do have a team. Let me be clear. These two hands don't do everything. I do have people who I reference and I hire on to kind of put forth the energy to complete tasks, because I can't do anything. Like I have Q Shante, who's my vocal producer and engineer. I refer to him to do my background vocals. Then I go to Solo, who's my music engineer, as well as live audio. And we do presets and transitions and timings and things like that. We have Chop Sui, who I met through you, who is an amazing drummer and knows so many different things about timing and stamps. And Delaney is my guitarist, the youngest of the baby of the group. And you are my Yoda. Anytime I have a problem,
right.
I just don't know what to do. Can you shed some light on this situation?
Yeah.
So you're like my little
sensei.
my little sensei, my mentor in a sense.
So speaking of that, what are the challenges that you have wearing the many hats? Because you don't just sing, but you curate shows and you manage art. You know, other artists such as your bandmates. What's the challenge?
So a couple of years ago, I tried to do the first indentation of my own show featuring another amazing artist. His name is Ken, Ken, Killing Every Note, God Love a Goat. Shout out to Ken. He's one of the most craziest lyricists I've ever. I'm not a hip hop girly, but I respect people who push their pen, and I respect the art. It's a lot of y'all that really can rap and really have star quality, and especially here in Chicago. Like, I think that we sleep on a lot of talent that's here. But Ken is by far one of the most definitive lyricists I've ever come across. Crazy. I wanted to do a co-headlining experience with him, and unfortunately that situation dissolved. I made a lot of amateur mistakes. I entrusted the wrong type of people and made a lot of big financial mishaps. I have to hold myself accountable for that. I made a lot of bad decisions. Financially, you have to make sure that you're putting contracts in place. You're doing payouts, sometimes you got to pay people 15% up. Hey, what is your rate? This is what I have for you, this is for this and this is for that, and the timeline is to be dispersed amount at a time. Money, you have to have your money in order. You don't want to go broke. I made several mistakes. Even now, I'm still learning, and each show continues to get better. Have a decent relationship with the promoter.
Promoter of what? You gotta let the people know.
The booker,
they don't know.
The booker is important to have a great withstanding relationship with your booker, the venue owner. You know, to stay on good terms with them as well, because these owners don't care about artists. They care about bodies in the building. They don't care about, you know, you receiving the sound check. They don't care about you having the setup. They care about who's coming at that bar, who's going to be purchasing drinks, who's going to be purchasing, you know, who's a VIP section. They're not, you are just a tiny facet in this situation. And I think that's why a lot of us are fighting hard now for recognition, to be respected. For instance, we can get deep. I spent over $2,000 for my show in May, my first headlining show.
Okay, well, yeah, talk about that. Let's start there. What was the process of you getting that show in May and the organizing up to that? How'd you even get the opportunity to do your first headlining show?
So two years ago, I met with my vocal coach's close friend. She had a brunch for her birthday at his house, and he put a Facebook post up. He's like, hey, I'm looking for artists who wants to do shows. You know, let's work. That was the top of this year, in literally like January. I curated a set list of songs that I felt flowed together, and I said, God, let your will be done. And I didn't know what was going to come of it. And I said I wanted to do more shows. I literally spoke it out loud and prayed on it. And then he came up with that post, and I was like, let's work. He gave me a date, and we locked in that date. I started rehearsing. I literally had fired the band 35 days before the initial show.
Wow.
And I was on the phone talking to Chop and talking to Delaney. I was like, hey, I know this is short notice, but this is what I have financially for you guys. Are you guys in? It was like, they in, and we've been locked in ever since. The people that I fired ended up playing. They were one of my openers.
Wow.
My how the time to turn, honey. Okay. You always never want to fumble people of value. That is important. We talk about that often. It is not easy. It is not. Let me be clear. You think that you're going to jump on the stage and look cute and do a fantastic performance. You don't know the hours of rehearsal that it goes into it, the packing up, lugging around equipment. Yeah. You know, and you do multiple things. You are self-sufficient and truly the definition of multi-talented, multi-hyphenate. I know you know.
Yeah,
DJing, bringing your gear.
The cameras. Yeah. Yep. It's a lot. It's definitely a lot. And speaking of other parts of organizing that people don't always see, selling tickets. So can you talk about during that May show, you were promoting like a discount code. Like what was your thought process behind doing discounts?
So I was inspired by J. Cole's Dollar and a Dream tour. As a person that is relatively unknown, I'm just a fat black gay boy from the west side of Chicago. Don't nobody know who I am. The girls have egos out of this world. Y'all think y'all Beyonce, Drake, Future, and everything. And, you know, I've been to people's shows and I paid $35, $20 at the door. And then you slurping on a drink. You spending $100 that night to see a show. And they only performing one song and the show is trash. So I feel like, for me, as somebody who doesn't have a big song on the radio, for somebody who doesn't have a cosign from a big artist, not even somebody who's retired, ain't nobody up there like signing me. I'm doing this on my own, off of my own laurels, off of my own ambitions, and I wanted to create a ticket pricing that I felt that would get bodies in the building. I thought, and the gag was, I made my ticket prices for my openers $5. I made my ticket price $1. I thought that, you know, by putting it $5 for the openers, that would put more money in their pocket. My openers, some of them did promote, but one person did not. They did virtually next to nothing in promoting. And the night of my show, they invited people. They had a baby at the bar.
What?
And Chicago do not play about their, you know, Chicago has very strict laws. Prohibition laws are still in existence here in Chicago. Like, what if a fire marshal would have came up in there and saw a baby? Or, you know, like, who gonna get that bill? It was wild. But you live and you learn.
Yeah.
I didn't make that much. I'm gonna be honest with you, friend. Like, I think I told you prior to this. I think I took $82. I had to split that with,
and with the other acts.
They really didn't sell too much. I think I paid out maybe 1 or 2 people. Yeah. $5, and technically, according to the number, they were supposed to be receiving less than that. I was just being
generous.
A generous person. 70% of $5. What is like?
That's nothing, barely anything.
But I see why people, and you were there, friend. Don't sell yourself. You were in my ear. Don't sell yourself short. I'm gonna pay the full price. I'm gonna pay this, that, and the other. And now, moving forward, I'm definitely going to implement that because I suffered tremendously at my own hands that was not a wise decision, While I'm glad I did it. Moving forward, I would price it at a level that I think that is fair. I would do anywhere, for me personally, anywhere from $5 to $10. And, as the trajectory kind of gets bigger, the more shows I continue to do, and the bag gets a little bit bigger on my end, then we can kind of up the price and it won't feel like such a chokehold. So when you're paying $15 or $20, because let's be honest, when we go out, I'm pretty sure we spend more than that. Going to different venues, going to clubs, going to bars, you're paying for an experience. And I put on one hell of a good of a show. Despite everything that went wrong, I still prevailed, and I put on a great show. I'm proud of myself, and I'm proud of my team. Brandon with a V, he was one of my openers. He's amazing. Get his single, FTS, that's available on all streaming platforms right now. Girl, you better charge $20 at the door, $15.
That's why I've been trying. I'm trying to tell them, y'all.
Yeah. Don't lowball yourself.
Right, because the next show you did in June, you went from $10 to $5 to free.
Free. It was a gag. So June was specifically with the month of June. I do have a residency at Pork Chop Edgewater, located on Loyola and Broadway. My next show is August 16th, 2024 at 7 to 10 p.m.
And the reason why I brought this up, because during the June show, you brought the ticket price down, and it was because you said you wasn't seeing people.
Low ticket sales. So with June show specifically, the turnaround rate, I was already, at that point, and also, this is a good thing, don't overbook yourself. Do not overbook yourself as an artist. I know visibility is key and everybody want to get to the money and get to the bag, but you can't over exhaust yourself to the point of, you have a main goal of something and you're taking away from that. I didn't promote this June show the way that I promoted. I had 35 days to promote May show, you know. I had a full, and that was done without what you told me about the Facebook ads and reels and things of that nature. And when you implemented that, because I brought Jovan on as my social media manager.
I'm trying. He like to control things. He be like, no, I'm doing like this.
I have to be very subtle. You have to be manageable and submit to the process and trust that it does work, because these are people William Pierre Ramsey, Michael, everything, like these people who are my peers and friends in real life who have seen tremendous success utilizing social media as a platform and as a tool. I failed myself. I didn't nurture it. I have to hold myself accountable, and moving forward, she not playing no games.
Right.
Like, even when I got done with the show, I had people come up to me on the street.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, oh, your show was today. Oh, my God, I have to come to the next one.
Oh,
you know, because they saw
the ad.
Yeah. Even if you do the ad, that does work, you guys. That does, it brings, 500 people to your profile a day.
Well, yeah, it depends on how much you put into it.
You could do, I think the lowest you can do now, I think the minimum now is $5.
Okay.
But I remember you used to do $1 a day.
Right.
And it can just...
It does wonder.
Put a couple of people into your profile, and that drives traffic to... Oh, what is this? But when you see those ads in between you scrolling on Instagram, oh, what is this? This is in my area. Oh, let me click on it. And then that's putting people's eyes to the product. You are a commodity, essentially, as an artist. That made me even more happy. And I was like,
right.
Jovan was right.
I was like, I was right about what?
She was right.
What do you mean? Because you're like, how much you charge for this? I'm like, can you at least try to do this first?
Do the minimum. She was really advocating something that is essentially you don't need to hire someone to do that for. You have the power in your pocket.
Right. Yeah, and then that money that you're asking me, like how much I charge, that could be put towards the advertisement,
I appreciate you because you could have easily been like, 400. Bitch, I know you work.
Right. But I also see like how much money you put into your band and to just rehearsing and things like that, and it came at a cost to your own life, know. So
I suffered tremendously. I lost 20 pounds in May because I was not eating. I did not have any groceries in my refrigerator. It was like, it got to the point for me, it was like, oh, do you want to rehearse or do you want to eat? I'd rather rehearse, I'm still fat, y'all. She's still juicy. Okay, she's still thick. But to my detriment, I chose music. That's how bad I wanted to make this situation work. I was literally a starving artist. I fell behind on my bills. I was late on my rent, to pay out different people. I'd rather have good standing with my team. And, you are essentially responsible for these people's livelihoods. And people are expecting a paycheck. So for you not to pay them out.
Right.
I don't want to step, in the wrong direction and not be that girl that pays. Because I know we know a couple of people who...
Right. Yeah. And that's why I was like saying like to you, like, what is a way where you don't have to feel like you're stressing yourself financially, but you can still give that experience to the people, whether that be you might have to do a DJ for a show or something like that.
Substitute. So I would say if you don't have the full shebang, definitely it's okay to tell somebody to sit out. If that's going to mean saving you $200, that can be used towards something else for the next show.
Right.
My last show, I said I was going to take a break for July because I needed to catch up on bills. I was tremendously, like I said, I was irresponsible and I let things pile up to the point where it had me in a chokehold. This credit card bill, honey. My phone was off.
Right.
My phone was off. Yeah, I had, I gotta pay this. I'm paying this. I gotta pay that. Using Wi-Fi at work. It's the reality of my situation, and I want people to be aware of, learn from my mistakes. And if you have to become self-sufficient, you have to cut out certain things. It's okay.
So what would be your advice to an artist maybe doesn't have a lot of funds and they want to put on a show? What would you suggest that they do?
When I first started out, I was rehearsing in the bathroom. I didn't have money for rehearsal space. I would go in the bathroom with my little inner monitors in my garage band and sing in the bathroom. Self-sufficient. Learn. YouTube University. Find a tribe that believes in you and that are willing to rock with you. If they love you and they see that you work hard and you'll pay it back in the other, that's love. Like, you don't find too many people like that. Like I said, we are all money motivated and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm but I still like to have a little bit of integrity. It literally is a marathon. You have to prepare like bodybuilding. You just don't go into it lifting weights. You don't go into you prep yourself for certain things. And that was my first time doing a show with a band. But start off small and it will grow over time. Seek help, ask y'all. What is the saying? Ask and you shall not receive.
Ask you shall receive.
my Bible, I'm such a heathen, honey. Ooh, child.
Connections
is key. Maintaining good relationships with people. You never, ever, ever fumble people of value. There are people in this lifetime that you will never, ever get because you didn't chase them off, shady business deal, ego out of this world. You don't want to get too excited about yourself. And you don't want to become somebody that no one wants to work with, because Chicago is it may be 12 million people in the city, but the music scene is tighter than...
I know. Gotta keep it age appropriate.
It's small. Everybody knows. You literally are 6 degrees of separation from somebody.
Yeah.
So your reputation, the perception of what people say about you goes very far. You get a little clout. Just stay humble, but don't let nobody play in your face as well. You know, you are essentially running a brand. You're building something that's worth withstanding, you know.
And that's, if I can add another thing when it comes to shows, find bookers or venues that do pay. So that way you're not fully paying out of pocket. Because that helps a lot.
You need to recoup something.
You got to have...
You was on me. You're like, you said it. You said it for June. You were like, you know, oh, it's going to be $10. Then it's going to drop it down to $5. And you're going to be $1. And then it's free. You were on me. You ate me up and spit me out.
Right, because you do too good to other people to not get anything back. You pay people, you should get something back from your shows.
At least something.
Yeah, whether it's merch or it's from your shows or people tipping you, something.
A tip jar. Keep a tip jar at the tip of the stage, honey. That is key too. If you can create merchandise, shirts.
Yep. Something.
You don't have to order 500 shirts. Start off with 20.
See what you can sell then. See what the demand is. Yeah. That was amazing. That was some good tips. Where could people listen to your music if they want to follow you for more?
I am the one and only Kahari. Kahari. Lolita is now available.
Okay.
Keep It Bouncing. Solo Dolo version is now available, featuring also Mikey Everything. That version is the K-Mix version. I have I Don't Believe. Oh my God. A couple other records out there.
Well, thank you.
And this is the multi-talented, multi-hyphenate, 1/3 filmmaker,
1/3 photographer,
1/3
MC. Thank y'all for tuning in. We're going to use that to close out the show. All right, y'all. Peace.